Hey guys, Supercar Street Racing here. Been over a year, well, probably much more than a year, with the Avin BMW Android system. I wanted to get back together with you guys because that's kind of a popular video. I know people are curious about how I feel about this now. So let's jump in the car in real time. I want you to feel the pain with me. First, well, we got to turn on this phone, we have to turn on our hotspot. Let's see if it's going to shut us down. All right, hotspot is actually on. So I use internet access from my phone. So I just turn on mobile hotspot and I use the Wi-Fi access point for the Avin BMW. Yep. Oh, caught in the reflection. All right, so let's hop in and you guys feel the pain that I feel sometimes with this unit. Okay, so we got the Avin. Now right now my instrument cluster is in Germany getting repaired because I scratched the screen on it trying to install it. But let's see if we can reproduce the issues that I have so you guys know just what I'm talking about with the Avin. Now the fitment is perfect. Let's not get that wrong. The only gripe I have is that the wiring was so tough to do that it was hard to stuff the wires behind the actual stock. This is the navigation unit here. This is the actual brain. There's a pass-through cable that goes in there for the Avin, but there is a lot of wires that have to be stuffed through here. And I know because the dealer had to work on my car and replace the condenser, and they had to get all that back in there, and they were like, wow, you didn't tell us. So let's power it on and see if we get the same problems I usually get. All right, so first things first, this is booting up to the actual Avin, which is unusual. So what happens usually, well, I'd say it's about it's 50-50 if it boots to BMW Nav or to Avin. Now there's a setting inside of the navigation system that says memory. If that setting is on, whatever you were booted to when you shut down is supposed to boot back up. I'm sorry, Avin, that has never worked properly. Half the time, it boots up to Android. So see, Android is starting here. So this has been in here for over a year and a half. Now let's see what happens once it boots up. Now here's another thing. So of course I always want navigation to start. So why wouldn't you want to start navigation every single time that you get in your car? Because that's just what you do. Especially with Waze, because then you can go in and you can see police and other issues. Now, see, booting up, we're already connected to Wi-Fi. Not sure if it's the phone Wi-Fi? Let's check. All right, we are connected to my home Wi-Fi, so that's fine too. Now, you can see here that I have this type of menu system on as the default graphics system. I did not do the, I mean, this is sort of BMW-ish, they copied. I've tried different ones. I am sticking with this one for now, but I do like some of the other ones a little bit better. But as you can see here, if you, this is the iDrive. I'm using the iDrive to do this. You can go to navigation, Bluetooth, video, audio, or the dashboard. So one thing that I want to tell you guys is I found a program for Android that automatically starts whatever program that you like when you boot up your Android, and that's a phone or whatever, because this uses regular Android apps. So I have Waze actually as a boot up program for my device. Now you can see we've been on here for what? Over a minute, and Waze has not started yet. Now I don't know if that's an issue with the operating system or what, but it takes a variable amount of time for Waze to start up. And here we go. Waze is starting up. So over a minute, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I can't say that it's, maybe the operating system isn't fully booted up yet. I really haven't looked into it very much because it hasn't been a problem, because when it doesn't start, if you hit the nav button here, if I can get it to focus, then Waze will start because Waze is the default navigation. Now you can see here it's still trying to load Waze. Now likely that's related to Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi signal from inside the house is low. Let's go to the Wi-Fi. And okay, so it did decide finally that it wanted to start. Yeah, my Wi-Fi on my phone inside of here is going to be a little low. Now, also, Waze just updated the actual app. So there we go. Waze is on and ready to go. So if we zoomed out here, reminder, there's a touch screen. So if we zoomed out there, we would see police or hazards or anything else in the area. So let's just zoom out. Not really much going on around this area, but yeah, so Waze finally booted up. Now, let's talk about some of the issues that I've had with this box. So the first major issue is obviously what I just talked about. Sometimes the box wants to boot to the BMW navigation. Now you can get there by pushing this and holding down the menu. There we are. We're on the stock BMW navigation system. You want to go back? Hold down menu. It switches back. All right, so that is the first issue. The second issue is Wi-Fi. If your Wi-Fi system is not on and available when you boot up the system, it takes either will not connect to Wi-Fi or it takes a very long time to connect to your Wi-Fi. So in other words, when you boot this up, you want your hotspot on your phone already active. So this device is a PX6, so it's a 6-core unit. There are people making aftermarket ROMs for it. I haven't even gotten into that because I've just been busy with so much other stuff, but there are aftermarket ROMs available. If you want to take that chance, go for it by all means. You're welcome to do that. Now this guy has the Google Play Store installed. Let's take a look at that. So Google Play is installed. So if you go over here and you go to Play Store, so there is the actual Play Store. So if you touch your little icon, I don't want to reveal my whole name, but if you touch your icon there, you can actually go update all your apps. So you can install anything you want. So let's take a look at the menu again. Now, once the menu's up, you have use of your iDrive controller. Let's go to apps. So there's my app screen. Now you can use the iDrive controller. Or you got signed into Waze after it showed my full name, which I'm not really keen on. But yeah, so this thing is still connected to inside. Let's connect it to hotspot, which is my phone. Okay, now it's connected to hotspot. Go back to this app. I'm not sure if my phone has any access here, but as you can see, there's no thumbnails for my security cameras for the house. So just an example of something you can do with this guy. But yeah, it runs all standard apps. So of course you've got Pandora, you've got YouTube. Now if we go to YouTube, we can probably go to subscriptions. And let's see if I'm in here. It's a different account. But if we go to all, I mean, you'll be able to see like all my subs here. There's the channel. Here is the home theater build. They dropped the headphone jack. So if you're wanting to use this for external audio to feed anything like that. So yeah, YouTube works amazing, works great. Most other apps do. Now let's talk about the support, which is a huge problem with this device. So this guy is bought from Avin. There are plenty of other companies on eBay or on the internet, Alibaba, Amazon, that sell the Android head unit for the E90X BMW, and also a lot of other BMWs where you either replace the factory screen or you have to cut your dash. Now this is a factory screen replacement, which is HD. So you not only do you get better video with your factory navigation, you have high def video on your brand new screen. The problem is that Avin and most of these other companies, they don't have over-the-air updates. So when Android is improved or they add features or whatever, like T-Mobile or any of those, AT&T, whatever, there's no updates. I think, and you're thinking, yeah, so you just get what you get. Exactly, you get what you get. This box has had one update since it was introduced, and it wasn't any improvements on the bugs on the box. The other major problem with this box is that when you open navigation, sometimes the GPS doesn't work. Now, they have said this is because you should take off the Y adapter that lets the factory nav work as well. So I haven't done that yet. So I can't say yay or nay that will solve the issue of GPS not connecting. Sometimes it will eventually connect. Sometimes it connects right away, sometimes never. So I haven't taken the Y adapter out. That Y adapts the GPS. Big problem. I will do that eventually. I do have the GPS antenna available that I bought with it. They want you to install the GPS antenna instead of using the Y adapter and using the factory antenna. So we have those two issues. There's a few other issues. If you have Bluetooth player open or video player open, when you close down the unit, even if you have memory turned on or off, it wants to go back to that every single time you boot up the unit, which is annoying as hell. So yeah, there's been one update period for this device since I bought it like 1.5 to 2 years ago. You're not going to get updates like you do on your phone. Don't even sit and think that like, oh, well, I have a phone and they update it once a month. Nope, not going to happen. This is a specific created ROM for this type of box, and unless a company is not worried about selling new boxes, they're going to update it. But these guys, all they care about is you buying the next available higher performance box that comes up on the internet. So they're not going to be producing ROMs. And if you look at Avin's website, you can't even rate them with Google. You cannot go in there and rate them any kind of way. And this box is long gone in history. There's a much nicer, newer one out, but I'm not giving these guys another $500 for an updated box when they should be fixing the issues on this one. Their support is really non-existent. They don't answer emails. They want you to just replace the device with one that's the same, and I'm like, dude, it's going to do the same thing. It's your software, it's not the device. So 1 year with this box, I have so much to like about it. We have this amazing iDrive that works. We have Waze we can use. We have the ability to use MHD, and through the USB cable we have the USB DCAN cable connected, and we can look at maybe it'll work. This is also a pain point of mine. Every time you go into monitor on MHD, it asks you if you want to use the USB. You say yes, you still have to back out and go back in. Okay, so yeah, MHD worked, yay! There you go, so there's MHD on it. Now, let's talk about MHD. Now, when I bought the device, I was like, yeah, I'll be able to flash MHD ROMs with this. Nope, not happening. You'll learn the hard way the first time you try that when you start flashing with this guy connected to the factory unit, MHD is going to fail because this thing shuts down in the middle of the flash process. It shuts down the navigation system. I bricked my car I actually recovered it with the phone. I had to Uber to my house, get my phone, come back and flash the factory stock map on it because my car wouldn't start anymore. So you're not flashing this with, you're not flashing MHD with this aftermarket head unit. What you can flash, which is awesome, is XHP. So if you're programming your transmission, this works with the Android head unit. What would I suggest for you guys? Well, my advice is this. You're never going to get a perfect product if you're not getting a reputable company. I'm not saying Avin is not reputable, but they're not dedicated to supporting old units. I would get something off of eBay, honestly, and save a couple of $100. So if you buy this now, I would get whatever the most modern, fast, and highest level Android is, because you're not getting an Android update ever, unless you're really good at using the XDA Developers Forum and flashing custom ROMs. You're not getting a newer version of Android on this. They're not going to do it. Even a company like Avin, who's based in the US, and most of these eBay companies are based, you know, out of the country, and they're not going to update it. They're getting it out the door. Hopefully it works when you get it. If it doesn't, you might have to return it. But just beware that this is some of the things I've gone through with the device. Things like this. Let's go to car info. Well, car info goes back to the actual factory. Let's go to the dashboard. Okay, so if we go to dashboard. Oh, you're like, oh wow, this is awesome. No, that's in kilometers per hour, and that's in liters of fuel. The only thing that really is good is the RPMs. So would this be cool if it was, you know, miles per hour and gallons? Yeah, it'd be cool. I would use it all the time, but it's never going to be that way. There's no option to change it to US because they just don't care. All they care about is selling it. So that's my little 1.5 to 2 year update. Not sure when I bought it. I'd have to look at the records on the Avin Android for E90X BMWs, E90, E92, E93 BMWs. If you got more questions, hit me up in the comments section. I'd be glad to talk to you guys and let you know and help you out with some of the install stuff. Oh, one more thing. I did finally get, and I think you guys could see my video, but I did get the backup camera installed. And yes, it does work right when you turn the car on. It doesn't have to boot up the Android system. So there's the backup camera right there pointing at my garage door. I just wanted to update you guys on that. You do not have to boot up the system to get the backup camera to work, because the system takes a while to boot. So yeah, that's another thing that is working. And let's go back to the dashboard. That shows you that it does work. If not with a delay, it does work. And I'll see you guys in the next video.